Hey guys, I'm Jesse,
I'm Azteca. And this is Blake, who'll come in later.
and welcome to our island of misfit toys. So, why don't you tell them what we're gonna do?
We're doing spooky stories. Not any spooky stories. Our own personal spooky stories.
Personal, we're doing spooky story times. Bye, Blake. Are you gonna play scary music?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm a terrible DJ.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. Oh, that's a rapper. That's a beatboxer.
There
we go. Okay. So, today we're gonna do scary stories. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get post notifications. Leave a like.
Add us on everything.
Oh yeah. Add us on
Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram, Snapchat,
everything.
Yeah, just the whole shebang. TikTok.
Are we actually gonna post this?
I mean, I'm down. I posted a lot worse.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I miss Blake. Start telling the story!
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm starting off. I think I already told you this at one point, but I used to have, because I talk to ghosts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was one of those things where my entire life I used to always talk to ghosts. I always had paranormal activity going on in my life. Like, ghosts literally follow me at some point or another. Like, there's always something following me.
Okay.
So when I was little, when I was like just barely like a couple of months to like a year old, I used to see my my great grandmother, and it's she wasn't like there for like any kind of bad reason. It was just like when I was little, I used to see my great grandmother a lot, and I didn't know that it was my great grandmother at the time until because my mom thought that I was always just like talking to myself, which I do a lot. But I was saying at one point we were going to go to the store, and she was like, "All right, Jesse, let's go to the store." And I looked at her and I was like, "I don't want to go. I don't want to leave my friend." And she's like, "Oh, who's your friend?" And she's like, "What does your friend look like?" And I described my great grandmother to like a P. And because I saw her as like a young her.
Uh-huh.
And so, which if you don't know, ghosts, when they're like ghosts, they can choose what stage of their life they want to look as.
Don't they choose like when they're happiest?
That's typically what it is, because they want to look like what they are when they're happiest, but it doesn't always have to be like that. It's not always like that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I've seen the nun and she didn't look very happy.
Yeah. It's typically something that's like when you feel when you die. So if you die like in spite, usually
you die like that. You stay like that.
But if you die like a good, like you're very content with your life, you usually go back to what you were. You usually go back to what you are when you were happiest, which, like you said.
Interesting.
But I described her to a very specific, and then she's like, "What's her name?" And I looked at her, and I'm like, "Her name is Vega." And my mom was like,
Dun dun dun.
so it was very much like eerie. Like my mom doesn't believe me, but it's also one of those things where it's like when I talk about ghosts today, she's like, "Okay, Jesse." But yeah. Okay, your turn.
Okay, well, since you did win when you were a kid, I'll do one that happened last year, 2019. You know me too. I've always had my demon encounters. My mom is very strict, so she'd like never let us watch certain movies because they were believed to bring the devil into your home.
Mm-hmm.
Like Exorcist of Emily Rose, she bought it because she thought it was a movie, and when she found out that's a movie that's to bring the devil in your home, she didn't let us watch it. We're Mexicans. We don't listen. So we let the devil in our home. So we've always been stuff like that.
Also, talk to me. Don't talk to the camera.
Don't know what to do. It's my life. So I'm looking at myself so I can see as a mirror.
That's why I need to get the camera, because if we keep looking at the viewfinder, then it's gonna be like
Awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at the camera. So she always never let us get like a Ouija board and all that.
Mhm.
She's like very strict on all that spiritual stuff.
Mhm.
We bought a Ouija board. We didn't care.
Mhm.
Like, come on. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all right now.
How convenient.
Right? And so we played with it. It was just me and my brother. And we were playing with it. It's crazy because we were just messing around. We were trying to scare each other. But like a lot of the stuff on the board that everyone thought that, oh, it was just my brother answering. But we were asking questions about me that there's no way my brother would know.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we continued playing with it, and I went to sleep one night, and back here I had some stuff on my vanity, and it dropped,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you know what? It was close to the edge, the weight, something like
Mm-hmm.
coincident. Like, I'm gonna come up for any reason, even if I know the devil is in my room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come up for a reason because I don't want to be scared.
Mm-hmm. You're just like, it was the wind.
Yeah. So it was me breathing way too hard. So what happened was it fell and I came up with an excuse. So I went to sleep. Then I woke up and my bookshelf right here. Do you see how it has a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
You just hear the whole
Always
thing.
a lot of stuff.
I keep stuff. The whole thing. Do you see how there's a space between it?
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing just like slammed against the wall, and you hear everything falling and then going. All you hear is like something crawling like
Oh, I would have
up the wall.
Oh, I would have cried.
Dude, I was crying. Like after everything slammed it was like the way I think of it, since I heard like it wasn't like just walking, it was all fours, like someone was crawling.
Nope.
So why did I was
And
like,
you didn't see anything?
no, it was like I was asleep.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like late, and so I'm guessing like something got on it and like crawled up the wall. So you hear that crawling up the wall and over to the ceiling, and my bed was still right here, dude.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I swore I would never play with the Ouija board again.
It's like,
Yeah.
your buddy.
So now that we're in January, I just gotta say, after that happened and I swore off playing the Ouija board, when David came over with Ari and in November last year, I played it.
Good job.
Yeah. Your turn.
Is mine okay? Let's do a recent one. All right, I'm gonna do one that happened just a couple months ago. I think it happened in August. I think I told you about it too. So I live in an apartment. We don't live together. I live in an apartment that's just down the street.
It's literally
And
behind the camera.
It's literally like, if like, well, behind the camera is a house, but right behind these houses are like the apartments. But I'm always very intuitive when it comes to, you know, spiritual stuff and very much, and like, you know, stuff like that. So, as soon as I walk into like a room or like a place, I automatically know if it's like has like bad energy, if it's like, you know, stuff like that. So,
Next to in a handstand.
So I usually am always aware of, you know, stuff like that. And one night when I came home from work, I was in the house by myself. My mom hadn't gone home yet, and I was just alone. I specifically remember, because I always do this, I walk into the living room, because how it is, it goes to the living room, and then right in front of the living room, it goes to the kitchen, and then on each side are the bedrooms. So I walk in, and every single time I always I close my screen door, and then I leave my main door open because just in case, like, I'm scared of like murderers and stuff because I'm always self-conscious about that. So I always leave. I make sure to close the screen door because I don't want somebody to walk in just randomly. But I leave it unlocked because yeah. So I usually walk around the entire house, and after I walk around the entire house, I usually just like, okay, cool. And I usually lock the screen door and I leave the main door open because it usually gets stuffy in the apartment. So I specifically remember me putting my keys up on the hook and then me locking the door because, again, I don't want to get murdered. So then I go through I usually go to my room and I stay there for a while, and then I went to the bathroom because I remember I was gonna do a makeup look with blood that I saw on TikTok. And then I walked back to my room after I wiped all of it off, and I remember I heard a noise in the living room, like footsteps. And
yeah, your sound effects weren't as cool as mine.
I tried, but they were like footsteps, and I was like, what the hell? And usually I keep my room locked because, again, terrified. And so whenever I keep my room locked, I usually don't go out. So I was like, I texted my mom and I was like, hey, are you home? And she's like, no. And she's like, I'm not even off of work yet. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I feel like I'm hearing noises. And then she's like, it's probably just your mind. And I'm like, I know. Because we're the exact same way, because,
We're paranoid.
We're very paranoid about stuff. And usually when we get paranoid, we try to reason it. We try to, put something behind it. So I'm usually just like, okay, I probably just heard something because I think I'm like, whatever. And so I'm on my phone, and then I hear a noise again, and it's like creaking, and I'm like, what? So then I turn off, I stop what's playing on my phone, and I listen, and I hear creaking as if the door is opening and closing. And it's not just like, oh, it could have, like, it's like the wind opening and closing the door. Like, it wasn't breezy that day whatsoever, and we didn't have the air on. And the door was like fully opening and fully closing. Like I remember I texted my mom, I was like, are you home now? And she said no. So then I went out there. I have multiple weapons around my entire apartment because, again, terrified. So I grabbed it's like a bat kind of thing.
Paranoia.
I grabbed my bat type of thing and I walked out and I peered my head around the corner to look at the doorway. The doorway was completely open. Like, it's like, no, but the door was completely open. The locked door was completely open. So then I am like, I step back into my room and I stay there the entire night. And my mom's like, I hear my mom walk in and she's like, hello? And I'm like, hello? And she's like, why do you have the door open? And I'm like, because I'm not gonna. And I'm like, what makes you think? Because either there's only two things that could happen. Either one, there was an actual live person in my house, and two, there was a ghost that did that.
It was me. I want to. I was hungry. You know me. When I'm hungry, it's like feeding a gremlin after midnight. Except this gremlin didn't have no food, and I need food. So what I did was I walked in your house, I went through your kitchen, and then I was like, shiznickle, Jesse's awake, and I ran home. And that's what happened.
So it wasn't a ghost, sorry guys. No, but it was one of those things that was very much like, what the fuck?
Whoa! Didn't know we were cussing.
Okay.
That's a good story.
Your turn. Last one.
Okay. My house. If you don't believe in ghosts, just leave. Like, we're already 15 minutes in. Just leave.
Everyone's gonna comment, estúpida, marana, graciada, and shit.
Right? Like, oh, I'm sorry. No, No, my house, I've always had stuff inside of my house. For everyone who's spiritual, my great grandmother was a bruja. She was a white witch. Um, we consider ourselves brujas.
Yeah.
So we've always had stuff inside of the house. Everyone in my family has a gift. In this house that I live in currently, it was my 7th grade year. We're juniors right now. I know, huh? I was terrified. I used to be in the room across the hall. Now I'm in here, but I was terrified of that room. And so I would sleep in the living room. And the couch, I have a bay window right here, and my couch was across the living room, the second living room. And my back was this way towards the towards the back of the couch. And the only light was coming from like the DVD players. From DirecTV or Cox, I don't know, it was one of those.
Like the little electronic box.
Yeah. But it was enough for me to like see. And I don't know, like I was asleep. And I don't know, like I was home alone. It was just me. Who leaves their 7th grade child? Their 7th grade child. I don't know. I was like 13, alone at midnight. And no, so I felt like I was being like watched. So I turned around, and so like I'm not facing the bay window, expecting to see Nanook, because I have a husky, or had, and I thought it was him or any of the other 3 dogs. And like, so I turned around trying to look at them because the curtains were open, and it was like all the light went away. Like I couldn't see anything projecting anywhere. It was just black right here in my face. And I was like, why can't I see like what's going on? Because like everything, like even the moon, you could see light from the moon outside, but like it was all black. And so I don't know why I got the ugliest feeling, and something told me, look up. So I'm laying down. I look up, all the way up, and I swear it felt like it was going forever. Like 6-7 feet. There was a man standing right there at the edge of the couch, and he was just staring at me, and I stopped breathing. So
I hate the fact that that's getting serious as soon as you're getting serious.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't tell nobody, and I mean nobody, this story at all. I ended up naming him Alfred because I don't know why I'm naming the ghost in my house. So I named him Alfred. He never harmed me, nothing. A couple months later, maybe a year later, my mom was in her bathroom doing her hair. And from my mom's bathroom mirror, you could see all the way across to the backside of her room. So she's doing her hair, and I guess she said that she just, like, right here, she just froze, and that she was calling for my dad, and that all used to came out like, Chris, like she couldn't scream. And when she finally could, she like got out and ran, and she told her, she was telling Chris that there was that she knew it wasn't an actual person. You could tell. And she was like, there's a man. And I walked out, and she's like a black shadow, black man. And I walked out, I was like, are you talking about Alfred? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, does he have like a trucker hat on? I was like, is he like big? And she's like, and I started explaining him more and more. And she's like, how do you know? How do you know? I was like, that's Alfred. I was like, he comes to watch me a lot in my sleep. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, you guys left me alone one night, and I saw him for the first time. After that, he appears every now and then while I'm asleep, and he watches me. And yeah, that's how we found out about Alfred. We were all terrified, and my family wanted to cleanse the house. But I was like, Alfred doesn't do no harm. Then a lot of stuff started breaking in the house. And one day my dad walked in from the garage, and no cap, a bowl got up from where we put the dishes when they're done washing, up to the middle of the kitchen and dropped. Stuff started being moved, stuff started being broken. I started getting uglier feelings, and they all thought it was Alfred. but it turned out it was actually a white shadow who I named Christine, and that's the poltergeist. Yeah, that's Alfred and Christine for you.
I name my ghost too. There's the one in my closet. There's one in my closet, and I named him Michael. It starts with an M. It pops in my head every time I see him.
Does Michael act like Michael? That's gay.
No, he's a very like in his 30s, in his like mid to late 30s, maybe 40s.
Hi, Sonny.
But yeah, that's our first video on our YouTube channel.
Don't come for us, dude. This was a joke.
This was a joke. 20 years later, still on here.
20 years later, we're gonna look back on this like, who let us post this? But we know it's terrible when we're posting it. So at least we don't think it's good and posting it, but like, and realize later, can't believe it. Like, we're gonna watch this.
We know it's bad.
We're gonna watch this in 20 minutes, cringing about it. Like, we knew it was bad, but not that bad.
Yeah.
But now we know it's that bad.
Who's gonna edit this?
You.
You're funny.
Blake. He's raising his hand. He has a broken, lopsided hand.
Yeah, Blake can edit this. It's fine. Alright. Bye, guys. What's our outro?
Bye, Misfits. End the video!